3 long days, some I don't know. It takes a little more than what you show, and that's yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
All right, welcome to a special edition of Bobby Finn Knows Everyone, part of the Pulltab Sports family. I am your host, Bobby Finn, born and bred from St. Paul's East Side, where we look out for each other, a lot of hard work, and we tell it like it is, no BS, and that's what you'll hear on our podcast. Along with me today, my co-host, Tommy Lord. How are you, Tommy?
What's happening? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me. We're in a new spot today.
We are in a new spot.
It's pretty exciting.
Pulltab Sports studio. Actually looking for a sponsor, so hey, step up. Could be Stoli, could be Stilly, could be anything. Let's go.
Could be Stoli Dolies. You ever had a Stoli Dolly?
I have had a Stoli Dolly.
Stilly should come out with this like a Stilly Dilly, like
Ooh,
a Stilly with like pickles. Oh, like boozy pickles.
Boozy pickles. I like it.
You heard it here first, Stilly. It's Tom Lord original.
Want some finder's fee.
Right. So this is a cool studio. Just built it all out. It's pretty fancy. We got it's close to home. It's right here in Stilly, and it's pretty fancy. I feel like we're in the bigs.
It's gonna be cool. They still have some more work to do. From what I hear, there's gonna be a Chill Boys bar right over there, so we'll be able to have some audience checking this stuff out. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be like Bravo with Andy Cohen, like as like the celebrities coming in, sitting with them, live studio audience. We get all like the Bobby Finn groupies coming by, wanting to hook up and hang out, and you'd be like, no, ladies,
strike that. No, it's awesome, and it's like you said, it's convenient for sure. I'm sure we're going to be able to drop down and do a lot more of them. So get ready for that, because we're going to be a lot more in your face.
Heck yeah! What's happening in the world?
Well, it's pretty cool. Pulltab Sports is hockey centric, and the NHL Draft just started yesterday. It's been going good. Number 1 pick overall. So everybody already knew it like 5 years ago.
Right.
But still think it might be a conspiracy theory with the Blackhawks getting it.
It's a joke.
But
come on, it's a joke.
Yeah,
That's the way it goes.
I hear you.
It's fixed. Sports is fixed.
We're screwed forever because Minnesota, nobody, this is the flyover country, which Pulltab Sports is really keying on. So we're doing a good job with that. But
what do you think about Bedard? Do you think he's going to be a generational player like Buchagras said?
I don't know. I think the jury's out still. Obviously, is everything he's doing in the juniors and everything else is unbelievable. He just has that, je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
But he's got it. I don't know. Is he going to be Brian Lawton, or is he going to be the next Gretzky?
He could be the next Patrick Kane in Chicago. I mean, he's smaller. He's got great hands. He can shoot the puck. He's kind of that type of player, but I don't know. They're going to have to protect him because he's a little smaller, and guys might take some chunks out of him if they can't defend him and put a big boy next to him.
Oh, yeah. That's the Minnesota's going to have his way with them. He's going to be a little rag doll out there.
We'll see. We got a long way to go. We had a nice little draft. What do you think of our guy? Do you know who we got?
Charlie Stramel.
Yeah. What do you think?
Rosemount.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's 6'3", 222. He's a young kid, huge. Can't teach size, right? But
I know that much.
That's why you got the booster seat. He's good. Obviously, they drafted him for a reason. The Gophers last year, obviously, if you watch the highlights of that, the Gophers kind of had their way with him. And that kind of, I don't know, it maybe dropped him down a little bit, but I think his overall top, expectations, or his top talent he can be is. We need big guys. We get pushed around way too often. So
yeah, to get a big center, and if he develops well, and we've got ourselves a big center for a while, that's something we've really missed out, especially if a top line center. So
absolutely,
I like Jewel, Eric Sanak.
He just needs to stay healthy, but he takes such a beating every game.
Right.
So I don't care who you are, it's going to take its toll on you. How many ice baths you take, it's going to take its toll for sure.
We should get an ice bath here at Pulltab Sports.
We should be sitting in one doing it.
What'd you have on, Chill Boys?
I got my Chill Boys. Yeah. But no, that's Charlie Stramel. There's a couple other Minnesota kids taken. So it's been pretty cool. You can kind of see year after year after year, Minnesota, what these teachers and coaches and instructors have been doing is working, Charlie's from Rosemount. I got a couple buddies down there. I think I told you that story when I hurt my arm and I got those stitches.
Yeah.
That's the guy one of the guys that runs Tommy Chicago down there. He's the guy who I used for a name when I went to the hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
He's a good dude, and he's really, really done well with that Rosemount program and the other programs around there.
Yep. Right on. Did you hear the Montreal Canadiens pick? And they sent up Carey Price,
Hall of Fame
goalie, and they're like, all right, Carey, you get to announce the name. So like, all right, Montreal Canadiens, what's his name? Carey Price is going to come and do the selection. Carey, come on up. He's like, oh, okay, thank you, Montreal. He goes, with the 5th pick, the Montreal Canadiens select David, and then some guy from the front office came up and went, Reinbacher. And he goes, Reinbacher. So he messed up. It was genius.
The biggest time of that kid's life, in a Hall of Famer just effed it up for him.
I don't know if the kid's Canadian. Maybe he'd like that Carey Price screwed up his name. No, I think he's Swedish. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty great. Man, how many Canadians go in the top in the draft? It is just Canada Central, isn't it? They are doing something right up there.
Well, they have been forever, right?
Right.
Yeah, but
you would think at some point the rest of the world or the U.S. would catch up.
Well, I think we're closing the gap, but it used to be probably 80-20.
Yeah.
And now it's they're 50% higher than the next.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 25-11 last time I checked, and they're still the cream of the crop. There's no doubt.
Right.
But
I think we just got to get our kids skating more in the summer. I think it just, skating.
Nothing else?
I think, like if you have an hour open, you should be stick handling or shooting or skating. Like, and if you're not spending at least, I don't know, $50,000 in the off season, you're probably not doing it right. So parents, you heard it here. More hockey. Bust these kids in the ass until they make it into the draft.
Yes. And if you don't do that, it's your fault. Or if you don't yell at the coaches, it's your fault too.
That's awesome.
No, it's obviously these kids put in a lot of effort, right? And there's only so many of them that really play more than one sport. And I think at a certain point, you kind of have to make that decision, because you do have to try to get a scholarship. You do have to get drafted high. So you got to make, sacrifices, right? I tell my kids that all the time, just go screw around. That's okay. You're a kid. Go do it. But at the same time, if you don't make it, it's not my fault.
Well, you got to want it. You got to want it more than we want it for you. So.
Well, absolutely.
And I think parents have been through it. Dads have been through it. So they're like, they know what it takes. And a lot of times, kids don't want it as much, or they want to do other things, which, kids want to do that. So. Right.
And obviously that's one of our next segments, but we'll get to that in a second. But let's jump into one of the sponsors here.
Let's do it.
Duke Cannon, obviously playoffs are over, Stanley Cup's over, but it is the NHL Draft. So you stock up on DukeCannon.com. Use code BEARD10, 10% off your next order. Duke Cannon is an official partner of the Minnesota Wild.
And our other sponsor we're going to talk about right now is Jimmy's Salad Dressings and Dips. It is getting warm outside, real nice, real warm, and Jimmy's has that cold slaw to cool it down, and they've got 3 different flavors. They've got the pineapple, they've got original, and they've got fat-free. So put that on your plate right next to your hot burger, your warm beans, and it's a nice little, it's got a great balance. And Jimmy's coleslaw salad dressing there is sold at Cub or Hy-Vee. It is great for grad party season. I've had that at quite a few grad parties, and it's really good. And so check it out at Cub or Hy-Vee. And like Bobby always says, don't you be messing
with the dressing.
All right. Should we do our Don't Be a Dick of the Week?
Don't Be a Dick of the Week. Let's do it.
All right. I got one.
All right. Who's yours?
Here's my Don't Be a Dick of the Week. I think this kind of goes back to, like, do you remember when we were growing up and our dads would say, hey, take your hat off when you're at the dinner table, or turn your hat around forward. Don't wear it backwards. And why do you got to wear a hat all the time? I think the new thing of that is hoods.
Oh, yeah.
Kids wear hoods all the time, like they're driving with their hood.
They're driving.
Yeah.
They have no peripheral vision. It drives me crazy. I don't get it.
They've got their hoods on when they're like walking down the street. I bet in like classroom, they got their hoods up. I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah, I
And
think it's
that's
terrible.
a dad thing, right? It's
No.
totally I'm an old man dad thing.
I know, but it is disrespectful. But they're trying to be inconspicuous or some. I don't know.
Is that it? They're trying to hide out and
Well, yeah,
not be noticed.
because
and,
kids don't like talking to anybody anymore. So they're just like, hey, if I put this hood up, nobody can see me. But hey, dipshit, if you freaking are driving with a hood on, you can't see anybody either. So take the hood off, drive the right way, put a hood on when you go home and play your video games. Keep the hoods off.
It keeps them warm though. Does it keep their neck warm? Does it keep their head warm? I don't quite it's just, is that a cool thing? It's like, hey, I'm going to sag my pants and put my hood on, or I'm going to just talk to the parents with my hood on and my sunglasses and what up? I don't know.
I'm thinking of a Saturday Night Live skit right now.
Really? All
Got my
right.
tight pants on. Oh, that's not Saturday Night Live. That's Jimmy Kimmel, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So that's my don't be a dick of the week. Which kind of segues into another kind of don't be a dick thing. We had kind of a big thing this week. In the sports world.
It's blown up, but
yeah. Explain it first.
Okay, here's the deal. There's coaches around the state and the country that are really getting pushed out, because of parents, just getting too involved and having too much input and not letting these coaches coach, that these people at the high school level, they don't make much, and to have that dedication and the input that they give, it's a thankless job. There's no doubt about it.
They make so much money though at the high school level.
Yeah, like $7,000 for 500 hours. Right. It just doesn't make sense. But so there's obviously the Orono situation, which I have. I'm talking the other side of it. So I know people out there, and the people that I do know, two of them in particular, nicest people around, and they are just getting blasted. Because
their names were brought up with.
Well, I don't know if they've been out, but I know I've had people text me and ask me if I know them.
Sure.
So somewhere there's names out there.
Gotcha.
And I'm telling you, these two families for sure are two of the nicest families I've ever met. Do the dads, are they involved to help their kids? Absolutely. And I think coaches still need to have a little feedback without saying, screw off, don't talk to me. Nothing negative. If there's something negative, I agree. You just can't do that. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, these people don't get paid enough. It's not a professional job. But I think, at the end of the year, if you say, hey, is there a way you could do exit interviews? Or is there a way you could give a little more feedback so these kids know what they need to work on, or whatever it is? I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't do it, but because it is your program. But at the same time, I don't just throw a wall up and then call somebody to write an article about it, because that just actually points fingers at those kids. And it sucks because, he's a professional player, and I've talked to him about before on the pod. He's one of my favorite all-time, Gophers, and
that's Larry
and
Olimb,
high school
right?
players. Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Olimb.
He's phenomenal.
Orono's girls.
Absolutely. Phenomenal player. And I heard he's, he knows what he's talking about when he's coaching. He's a very, very quiet guy, which is not a problem. But, there are people that want coaches to be a little more vocal and tell the kids, what they're doing right and wrong. And I don't know. I wasn't there. All I'm saying is it's not one-sided. There's no way, and because I know these people, and they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't say negative things. They might have some advice or some feedback, or maybe things that you could work on, but not to the negative extent, at least these two families.
Yeah.
So it sucks. And it's happening more and more and more. Shit, it happened at Breck 5 years ago. Breck was one of the best teams in the state of Minnesota. And, a couple parents took that whole program away. They were done. 3 transferred to Minnetonka, 1 transferred to Stillwater. I don't know. It just, parents need to parent. And if you want your kids to play on certain teams, then just get them on certain teams, and don't bitch about it. Don't call the coaches and tell them when your kid needs to be on the ice and all this other stuff. It sucks to parent, because you always want the best for your kids, but at the same time, so does everybody else. So does every other parent, Mm-hmm. So if
right.
Ice time and playing time, I hate to say it, these programs are trying to win.
Right.
You know,
and Orono was winning. They went all the way to the state championship.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And it is Class A, and I get it. Class A is not, where Double A isn't even close, but they have, they have a handful to 7-8 players that are really good players, So they will dominate until they get to the war roads, right? But it's super unfortunate because nobody wins.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. And did you see who they hired?
No.
Their junior varsity coach.
So
if that guy doesn't know what's going on, if these parents are unruly or not doing the right things, why would they hire or why would he take the job?
Yeah, right.
But I'm not saying they all did the right things, but at the same time, it just I don't know, it's super unfortunate for sure.
It is, and we've heard a lot about the one side of the story, which Larry Olimb, we've heard, great guy and had a great program. And parents raise a bunch of issues and push them out. You bring up another interesting part, the side of it, which is like, okay, well, maybe they just need to figure it out. Maybe they need to talk it through. Maybe was he not open feedback? Was it really that unruly? Why did he just drop it after complaints? I don't know. Part of it is just I guess Mark Parrish did the same thing where he's just like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with it. Maybe he saw the writing on the wall and was like, I don't want to be a part of it, but should be able to give feedback, should be able to have exit interviews or do whatever that is. But same regard, it's I think it's a good point. If you don't like where your kid is and you don't like the program, then pull them out and go play somewhere else. I mean, especially girls hockey.
Be careful what you wish for, though.
Yeah.
I mean, be careful what you wish for. You pull your kid out and think you're going to go play for another program, might not see as much ice.
Yeah. Right.
But that's the reason I quit coaching. It really is. It's parents. I mean, I gave pretty much exit interviews, and these girls were young. I just said, hey, work on this over the summer, and we'll see. Hopefully it works and you can do a little better next year, whatever it is. But parents took it as, I'm ripping on their kids, and then they're have watches or doing their clocks and seeing how much ice time they're getting. And I'm like, I was rotating lines. I didn't even have a power play. I didn't have anything, but I don't know. I think parents, I don't know what it is, I guess. I mean, part of me wishes we could go back in time when they just dropped kids off and came back and picked them up,
Yeah.
Now you got parents watching practices.
Yeah. We live in a mama bear, papa bear society.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
The lawnmower, helicopter parents, and
I don't know what a lawnmower parent is. That's pretty exciting.
Paving their way.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Cutting a path,
paving their way. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it sucks. It's unfortunate, but it is society as we live in. So I feel like more and more of these coaches are going to drop because they don't want to deal with this stuff,
For sure. Yep. Parents want to smooth out the bumps in the road.
Yeah. I mean, where you're from, they had a big.
Yeah. Cottage Grove had the high school they bounced their head coach too, Jay Mosier, who I grew up playing with. And I don't know, I'm not there. All I've heard is different things, but parents pushed him out, and one of the parents is taken over and who coached and has a high level playing career as well. And I don't know this from that, but I do know that a lot of times parents don't like or think that they know more than the coach or the administration does. And it's kind of crazy that the athletic directors do that, it's almost like you'd go to your kid's job and say, I don't like the way the assignments my kids has been getting. We want to get rid of this boss and bring in a new boss. You kind of got to let the administration and the job do its job. It's just kind of odd. I don't know. It seems like it's everywhere now.
Well, I think all you have to do is say a taboo word these days, and then the person's out.
Sure.
I mean, that's all you have to do, and then the mob goes.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I don't know that situation totally. I know all the sides that are in it, and actually the guy who took over I think he's a great coach, and he's going to do well with it. But it doesn't mean, you take somebody out for
right.
Yep. Whatever reason, but I don't know. It's crazy.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, good little segment. Good talk.
Yeah, good talk.
Let's jump into a couple more sponsors and we'll get into Bobby's Bar Review.
All right.
So we talked about them already. Chill Boys. So Chill Boys underwear, they make life-changing underwear, and they are boxer briefs. And what do? Well, for starters, they are made out of bamboo. So they keep the boys cool. It's weird that underwear is made out of bamboo, but I've worn them and they work. They actually keep you cooler. And I've always said I've not been a big boxer brief guy. I'm just a boxer guy, but I've switched to these because they are awesome. They're lightweight. They keep you cool. A lot of times boxer briefs feel like they're constraining you. These don't. They're great. So join the movement and ditch those old fashioned low tech underwear and keep your boys from sitting in a swamp. And go to Chillboys, chillboys.com. Try them for yourself and keep the boys cool all summer long. And then our last sponsor here is Unreal. You've seen that apparel around town. It's UNRL. It's Unreal. And it's one of the fastest growing, most exciting clothing brands out there on the planet. And they are an independent clothing brand crafted around the athlete. So that means they're not owned by a VC. No, they were started from a guy who had $300 in a dream. And they make clothing for the athlete. So it's engineered to fit every body type, from big guys to small guys, from guys like Bobby to guys like me, you know, big, tough guys. Bobby, not so much. And they're the go-to garment you'll reach for every day, and not just game day. So check them out. Go to unrl.co, not .com, unrl.co, and use promo code Pulltab15, and you'll get 15% off your next order. So you heard it here, but first time Bobby Finn knows everyone. All right. So that was Unreal. And let's go to Bobby's bar review. So this has been good. Last week we had on a UFO expert, and I love it that Bobby pulled out the Space Aliens Bar and Restaurant, which, you know, still got pretty good, decent marks, you know, not the best marks, but it's, you know, it's Space Aliens. It's out there in Monticello. That was a good one. So you got one this week, Bobby's bar review. Where'd you go? What'd you see? What'd you do?
Well, unfortunately, we talked about our friend who, you know, wasn't doing well with cancer. And so after that, we went to, after her service, we went to kind of a family bar, right? It's Cloverleaf in Newport. And I don't know, maybe it's nostalgia, but it's simple. They have strong drinks. They have great food. And it's very, very simple. They have touch tunes. They have golden tea. And
pull tabs?
They have pull tabs.
Oh my gosh, they've got the trifecta?
Yeah,
the Holy Grail?
They had the same carpet in there for 30 years, but they finally redid it and put some new flooring in, and it's, you know, it's like I said, it's a corner bar, but it's very simple, and that's my favorite.
It's definitely a towny bar, right?
Definitely a towny bar. Yep. So if your kids have a game up at Bielenberg Complex and you drop them off an hour before, head down there, have a couple cocktails and maybe an appetizer, and make sure you tell them Bobby Finn knows everyone sent you.
Maybe that's why some of these coaches got pushed out. They weren't sending their kids asking their kids to come early enough so parents could go get a drink at the bar at Cloverleaf. Maybe they're like, hey, just drop your kids off a half hour early. And parents are like, you're out. We need 2 hours of drinking time before the games.
Yeah, could be.
So Cloverleaf it is. So another thing, Cottage Grove, we're talking about that. Close to Cottage Grove. I grew up down that area. Drive through Highway 61. Cloverleaf is right over there on the, I don't know what you call that.
It's just south of 494 off of 61.
Okay.
Yep, on the east side of the highway.
All right, so it's got the trifecta, so that's bonus points. So drink-wise, what are you going out of 10?
Drink-wise, it's got to be a 9.2.
Wow.
Yeah, here's the deal. Because I'm going to segue back. I'm going to jump around a little bit because my ADD is kicking in. When I was 21 years old, I turned 21. I stayed over at my grandpa's house the night before. Did I tell you the story?
I don't know. Grandpa with the wooden leg?
Yeah, so I stayed over at his house the night before, and ironically, we were at a different place the night before, but so I woke up, and he woke me up, and he called me bunk, and he said, "You gonna sleep your whole birthday away?"
Oh, yeah, this is the birthday stuff.
Yeah. I said, what? He says, it's 11 o'clock. What, are you going to sleep your whole birthday away? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock. I go, all right, I'll get up. So I went and, threw some water in my face. I walk out in the kitchen and I go, all right, let's go. And I look outside, my car's not there because we left it at a place the night before. So I'm like, well, how are we going to get there? And he said, oh, I got a cab. Cab pulled up right away. So then we go down to the Cloverleaf, and Tim Decker was working there. That's how long ago that is. He owns Park Place.
Okay.
But he's taking the stools off the table, and I'm like, I know they open at 8. I look at the clock; it's 8 in the morning.
He told you it was 11.
He told me it was 11.
He woke you up, threw you in a cab, and this is the day after your birthday. Or on your birthday.
This is my birthday.
Okay, and took you to Cloverleaf at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. So, this is back in the day where the Mall of America, all those bars up in the third level or whatever were hot.
Crocodiles? What did they have up there?
Gators?
Gators.
Yeah.
Gators.
So, all those places were just, my buddies who had a big plan for the night. And
yeah, dude.
So needless to say, as soon as they opened, my grandpa said, close your eyes and open the bartending book, and whatever you point at is what we're going to have a shot of. And he just continued to do that. Next thing you know, well, I don't remember it, but I was out cold on the sidewalk outside, and it was noon.
Did you make it to noon?
It was noon.
Oh, God.
So I didn't make my my birthday party with my buddies, but I'll never forget that lesson my grandpa gave me. But
Wow.
And that was at the Clover.
God, that's great.
Yeah, it was fun.
So drinks going about a 9.2.
9.2.
Food, you're going about
food's a 9 for sure.
food's a
I mean,
9
it's
or
a
bar food?
great burger. I mean, for
All right.
bar food, it is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, they do have a grill,
yeah.
so it is good food. Yeah.
Good. Atmosphere.
Atmosphere. Well, it's your local townies, right?
Yeah.
So you never know what you're going to get in there. So it's kind of like like going to Walmart. I mean, you'll see your business suit once in a while, but you're going to see some toothless people once in a while.
So it's not like a great date night place, but it's definitely a place where you can go with the wife, but you can also like hang out away from the wife.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the wife wants to go there, but other times they just say, get out of here.
Yeah, right on.
It's your place. But
right on. So drinks, food, atmosphere. What are we forgetting?
well, I don't know.
I don't know. And they've got the trifecta.
They got the trifecta.
All right.
head
So
to the
there you
Clover.
go. Head
Yeah.
to the Clover. You call it the Clover? Cloverleaf, the Clover?
Well, it depends if I'm tired.
Okay. So maybe what else we got? Basketball? Anything on Timberwolves or anything?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't have anything either. All right. Next, Twinks are doing all right.
They suck.
Come on.
Oh my God.
I saw they only gave up 4 home runs in the first inning the other day.
Their best pitcher gave up 5 bombs. I mean, it's the best team in the Major League Baseball.
Dude,
sure.
there was something going on there. Again, sports is fixed. The first inning, he threw like 8 pitches and 4 of them went for home runs.
Right.
They're banging a drum or something. They're stealing signs. They're doing something behind home plate where those pitchers knew that hitters knew it was coming.
Well, I
don't
don't know.
think?
It looked like a home run derby for sure.
It did, but no team is that good.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
Yep, you heard it here.
You heard it
Okay?
here.
You heard
They're
that's my line
cheating.
today. You heard it
Braves
here.
are cheating.
Braves are definitely cheating.
Change your name, Braves.
Yep, it's over for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a good trial episode here.
Good run in the new studio. It's been fun.
Been fun.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
You got a big day tomorrow?
Big day, graduation party tomorrow, and graduation parties are out of control. I don't know if we need to, I think we're going to be spending more than I did on my wedding. It's like 37 pounds of spaghetti and sauce and 10 36 packs of Coors and 10 36 packs of seltzers and wine and vodka lemonades, and it's a lot of control, isn't it? Can we just give our kid $1,000 and say, have fun at school next year? Congratulations. Who doesn't graduate from high school? Come on. It's not that hard. We need to have a party for him. It's gone too far.
It's gone too far for sure. I mean, there was a party last Friday, it was Friday.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I mean, I looked in his window, and did you count at all?
No.
You were there.
Oh yeah. Jason.
I think I'm not joking.
I think he had double what we have, and we have a ton.
He probably had, it seemed like 50 cases of Kurs and like High Noons. There's seltzers
and Topo Chicos.
Yeah.
And
gosh, it was absolutely insane. But I mean, that's it is kind of like a graduation wedding,
It is, and neighborhood party for the parents, and
Well, is it for the kids or is it for their parents?
Well, I don't know. It's for the kids to get some money and accolades out of, but it's for the parents to have a good time.
So if you had
we'll
to, I mean, I haven't been through this yet. You've been through it once, almost twice now. If you gave your kid $10,000-$15,000 just out of your pocket, said don't have one, would that be better?
That'd be too much. Definitely, that'd be too much.
Well, think about it. Think about all the money they're going to get from their grad cards, and then think about how much you spend.
Yeah. And the amount of hours you put in, the amount of work you put into it.
Time is money.
Time is money, especially when you got this kind of talent right here and everybody wants to pay me money.
Pay you money.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too much.
It is too much, but enjoy it.
Enjoy it. I will. Come on over.
So will I.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of seltzers, and if you haven't read my article about seltzers and what kind of seltzers make you look cool, because a lot of seltzers make you look like a what, and you don't always look cool when you're drinking a seltzer. But I wrote an article on the top, I think 7 seltzers to make you look badass on a boat. Because, you're on the river, you're on the boat, you're on the lake, you want to look cool. So check out that article. High Noons, that's one of them.
High Noons is one of them.
Little...
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, let's wrap this up, Bobby.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can find our podcast on all major platforms. Like and subscribe and tell a friend. Like we always say, try to do the nice things. Be good. Help somebody. Don't hurt somebody. Try to be positive influence on everybody. And you know what? Be a good person. And most of all, don't be a dick.